Hey, what's up, everybody? So I saw this question on Twitter and I thought it'd be a fun kind of quick video to do to explain a little bit for those who might not understand what a horns action is. So I thought I'd pull up a few examples of some of my favorite and kind of show you why it's interesting and what it is. So we're going to see the quote unquote horns formation where it's going to be a ball handler up top of the key. And then you're going to see two guys, either at the, the two elbows or higher up. Sometimes they set screens. Sometimes they're just in formation to catch the ball. So let's run a play here. Jimmy Butler is going to be the ball handler, and what's going to be interesting is it's going to be two guards in horn. So you're going to see Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. So let's run this right. So you're going to see here Hero and Robinson are going to come up for the right. Boom, they're in horns. And what's interesting is Jimmy as a wing, he's going to force a switch and he's going to force all sorts of mismatches. Danny Green's here. Jay Crowder's in the corner. Jimmy has Green on him. Boom, cut, blam, blam. Should have been a basket, but kind of really the important part here is right the formation, right? So they're gonna get in horns. Let's run it again. Again, it's these two guys up here. Now here they screen, and I think it's interesting that they use smalls. Typically, teams use bigs. Let's use another example here. This is a horns flare, so I kind of see a similar formation here. Actually, no, let me go to this horns flare first because I actually think it's easier to see for this one. So LeBron James is the ball handler, right? And we are going to see Ray Allen and Birdman, right? So they're in the horns formation, as you kind of see. Do you see the little triangle? It's LeBron, it's Birdman, it's Allen, right? So they don't always have to come set those two double screens on each side of the ball handler. And what you're going to see here is you're going to run it. Allen's going to come to screen up top, and see how high up LeBron is. LeBron's not LeBron's at the logo, and Allen's going to come screen, and he's kind of going to not really screen, but he's going to flare out. And Birdman is going to set a screen for Ray. So Birdman's gonna come. His man is picked. Birdman's guy, I think that's Zeller, is gonna have to help on Allen. And LeBron, easy pass. Now Birdman's gonna roll. Allen, that's an easy pocket pass. Look where the help is. So let's run that back from the start. Important to note here that weak side corner is empty, or I guess it'll be the strong side corner. It's empty, right? So Allen's going to kind of go. There's nothing on that side. There's no corner man to come help on the tag the roller or anything. Boom, that's an easy pass. And I gotta be honest with you, that's a fucking Erik Spolestra special. That was probably the most deadly play they ran. And I mean, look at the pass that LeBron makes. I mean, guy on him, doesn't matter, has the size, great screen, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of it. So, I mean, we have another example here where Mario Chalmers is a ball handler. Look, Chris Bosh and LeBron James in horn formation. Chalmers is coming off that LeBron screen. I think this is a little bit of bad defense by the Indiana Pacers here. This is the conference finals, but you're going to see LeBron's going to kind of flare out. Chris Bosh is going to screen him. Chalmers is going to get that past him. Chris Bosh, boom, slips, rolls. Look at that. Dwayne Wade in the corner, Chris Bosh into space, Rashard Lewis on the weak side corner, and Mario Chalmers on the wing. I mean, look how open Rio is. Now David West is going to have to help if he needs to. D Wade's man, I think that's George Hill. He's going to have to help, and obviously LeBron just elevates, takes the floater. Chris Bosh there for offensive rebound. It just works. And that's kind of what horns variation is. There's just all sorts of ways to run it. Miami now, and I don't really have an example of this, but like they'll do it, we're talking about it with Niko Jovic and Khalil Ware with the ball handler, where it's like two guys in horns. One guy can flare out to the 3-point line, the other guy can roll because both those guys can shoot. So as you kind of saw in the other example, it's usually like one shooter and one roller. In Chris Bosh's case, he could do a little bit of both, and so can LeBron. But you kind of see how you can really mix up defenses, and there's a lot of ways to go about it. I can probably even find, actually, guys, I could probably find probably some handoff stuff as well here on YouTube. Let's see what this horns rub is. Like they'll do it out of a DHO a lot. So let's see, Miami horns rub. Yeah. So Olynyk here, they're in horns, gonna give it to Olynyk. Dragic is gonna cut. I mean, that's just what they do. And again, here, similar thing. Let's run that back. Olynyk's going to get the ball there. They did a lot of this with Olynyk. Now, this is interesting because they have Tyler Johnson and Olynyk in the horn. So it's a guard and a big, and then James Johnson, who's a forward, who's running it. And you get all sorts of interesting variants. Look at that cut from size. Again, really big for Erik Spolestra teams to have a wing that can handle. Obviously, we just kind of saw the example of LeBron James doing it. Now we have another guy, obviously not LeBron James, but James Johnson doing it. You kind of see the advantages you get to having a wing do it. You can kind of cut, you can penetrate, you have some size to pass over. Again, a guard, that's Wayne Ellington. Look at that screen, comes off the handoff with Hassan. You kind of run it back, great pass. That's a finish. And those are kind of the benefits that you get. You have a lot of freedom. It's a very common NBA set. Look at that. And Miami, that's with Bam off the short roll to the Winslow three. That's something that they still run a lot. And I'm sure that you'll recognize it in their offense. Let's kind of put that back to the beginning. Ball handler Jay Rich is going to come. Bam and Wayne Ellington and horns. Bam's going to get that ball at the elbow, which is kind of his most. This is what we mean by like Bam likes operating out of the elbow, kind of out of these. So that guard's going to go move now. Wayne Ellington's going to kind of live the screen and come off for a handoff. Imagine that's Duncan Robinson now. So imagine they just do that. Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Bam. Duncan's going to come off. In this case, it's Wayne Ellington. Duncan's great at that pass. Wayne's great at that pass. That help comes. So Winslow's man, obviously Winslow, not the best shooter in the world. I believe that's Wesley Matthews. He's going to step up to kind of help on that Bam. He sees that. And look, Jay Rich is a swing pass away. If Pat Connaughton, I think that's Pat Connaughton, or that's Deladova, to make that pass. Olynyk on the strong side corner where Bam was. And that's horns. That's horns, baby. One of, along with floppy and other things, that's one of the premier NBA actions. It's really helpful. And this is a 6-minute video that I did not expect to make, but I think it's fun. I think it's interesting, and it's kind of it's an important thing to learn. And Erik Spolestra teams have featured a lot of different kinds of horns, as we kind of saw with the Ray Allen. We call that inverted horns, where you have guard screen. You saw in the first one, the Jimmy Butler example, where it's two guards screening, where it's normally two bigs, but Erik Spolestra has really mixed it up with either two bigs or two shooting bigs, or one big and one small, or two smalls. We saw Chris Anderson, Chris Bosh do it a lot. Udonis Haslem and Bam have done it together. Udonis Haslem and Birdman have done it together. They've had a lot of different variations of this. So let's hear a little lesson in horns.